Hello, this is Cybersecurity Specialist Reginald Andre, and today we want to talk about the state of Florida and actually 47 different states just announced that they reached a $17.5 million settlement with Georgia-based Home Depot, which of course is the big builder and where you can get all your home goodies and things like that. So I wanted to talk about this. So apparently back in 2014, from April the 10th, 2014 to September the 13th, 2014, Home Depot had a data breach where malware, which is kind of like a virus, went through their POS system. And a POS system is their credit card terminals. So when customers were going to the credit card terminals, there was bad software on these terminals. So when you're swiping your card, the information was actually being stolen and then being sent to hackers to be able to use to buy other other online shopping websites. They would make the cards and then use them elsewhere to buy different things. So if you were going to Home Depot at that time in these states, there was a big issue with Home Depot. And Home Depot eventually, corrected their mistake, and they've now learned from it. But this cost them $17.5 million plus, of course, if anybody personally went after them, or if obviously the reputation as well as them not securing their systems. So part of the settlement talked about what Home Depot agreed to do. And I wanted to go over a few of these bullet points because it's actually very important. And also it shows you that the government is taking action on this. If you are not securing your customers' data, if you're taking credit cards over the phone, or if you're a retail establishment, if you're a construction or condominium or whatever the case is, and you're getting credit card information from the customer, and you're not protecting your business appropriately, the government will come after you. I'm going to read this paragraph. It says the Home Depot agrees to implement and maintain a series of data security practices designed to strengthen its information security program and safeguard the personal information of consumers. And part of that specifically is that they are supposed to now have a full-time chief information security officer that's reporting to both the C-level executives and the board. So they want Home Depot to actually have a chief security information officer, and they report directly to someone in charge. So that way, if there is an issue, if there is something wrong, they can report it to that. The board is also aware of it so that they can take measurable actions. Now, in a smaller business, of course, you're not going to be able to afford a CIO, which is why you have companies like ourselves, Arc Solvers, where we are your chief information officer. We are working with your team. We are growing with your team and understanding your business to provide you the best practices. But in this case, Home Depot is now supposed to have a full-time person doing that. Secondly, it says administering appropriate security awareness and privacy training to all personnel who have access to the company's network or responsibility for U.S. customers' personal information. So this is everything on the retail side to the cashiers, to the account managers, and of course on the corporate side to accounting, et cetera, like that. Now they are supposed to, by this agreement, by the settlement, have to provide security awareness training. So that's everything, which is something we've always preached about. You always want to make sure that employees know what type of emails they should be clicking on, what type of phone calls, because even with awareness, there was an incident with Walmart several years back where Walmart actually received a phone call from someone acting if they were tech support. And this manager that received the phone call actually went to the server room and gave this bad guy access to a computer that they weren't supposed to. So Home Depot now has to train their employees on what to look for, and being more alert of these things. And of course, this is also physical because sometimes these malwares, all of these POS machines, they have USB ports, and these USB ports allow the allow firmware updates and things like that. So a lot of times the bad guys can actually take a flash drive and be able to plug that into a terminal. So now employees are going to be trained on what to look for suspicious people around these registers to make sure that they're not putting any type of bad code into these systems that will eventually cause this problem again. Another thing that they want to do is implementing specific security safeguard in respect to access control, encryption, file integrity, monitoring, firewalls, intrusion detecting, logging and monitoring, password management, penetration testing, risk assessment, two-factor authentication, and vendor account management. And again, all of this is what we've been talking about. All of this is what I've always been said is, you have to have, for example, right now, today is this, November the 25th, and it's a day before Thanksgiving. And there's a joke in the IT world. When IT professionals are sleeping, hackers are awake. So we're going to have a long 4-day weekend. Most likely your IT company, they're going to also be off, just like you're off. And who's monitoring your network? If there's somebody that is penetrating your computers, penetrating your router, and it's 3 in the morning, is there anybody monitoring that? Does your IT provider provide you that 24/7 support or 24/7 monitoring so that if there is an issue that they can stop it and be proactive? Or are you going to come in Monday morning to realize, oh my gosh, we've been hacked? Because that's exactly what happens when people come in Monday morning and realize it's been hacked. Is because all weekend long the hacker was actually working and trying to figure out how to break into your system, and that's why you come in Monday morning like that. And lastly, another thing that Home Depot has to do is undergo a post-agreement information security assessment that will evaluate its implementation on the agreed upon information system. So that basically is saying that after a certain amount of months or milestones, Home Depot then has to report back to these attorney generals and to let them know, yes, we are taking action. This is what we have done to ensure that our systems are safe. So again, just like the government is holding Home Depot accountable, and even though unfortunately it's after the fact, but the government will also hold you accountable. If they see that you have PII, which is personal identifiable information, if they see that you have this and you're not being responsible with your data, and then you get hacked, they will investigate. And when they investigate and realize that you were breaking certain laws in their states, they will come after you. So this was just a good lesson. I wanted to make this video to let you know, hey, if it can happen to a big company like Home Depot, and if these hackers can break into systems like Home Depot, then just imagine your small business. And don't think, oh, my small business, Home Depot, that's a company all the hackers are going to try to go after, right? They're going to be able to get thousands and thousands of credit cards. Well, hackers, yes, they try to go after those big companies, but they also know that it's so much easier to go after smaller companies because you don't have the same budget as these places. So definitely take your cybersecurity very serious, because these hackers know that these smaller companies have a lot of information. I would say sometimes even more, because in this case, Home Depot had these credit cards. But you and your business, if you're a condominium, or a property management company, you have thousands of people's driver license, maybe credit cards, email addresses, pet names, all of these things that hackers would love to have and be able to sell out in the dark web. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Everything we do in this channel is to give out information, to talk about articles and news items like this that have come out, to let you know what you should be doing for your business, because it's only going to be, what I say, a trickle-down effect. So if it's happening over here in the big boys, it's only a matter of time until it starts to affect companies like ours, which are the small businesses that run this country. Take care.